Hey foodie family, I'm here again today. I'm going to be making some homemade chili with leftovers that I had from yesterday. And I'm going to be making cornbread, but I'm going to make it out of a bag so it's not from scratch. But let me flip you over so I can get y'all showing what I have going on. Let me put you up here in the stand. Okay, so I'm going to start with the cornbread. I already have the, trying to get you here. I already have the oven preheating. I got some cornmeal in here from a bag. Just gonna break up the little clumps. And then I save, because I like adding corn to my cornbread. I mean, you don't have to, that's your liking. This is what I like. I save the juice and I put it in the measuring cup, and I also added milk. So I have the corn juice and the milk to this. And then I'm going to break, I have 3 eggs. Okay. Okay, let me throw this away and rinse my hand. Give me a sec. Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you for joining me. I am making homemade chili with leftovers from yesterday. Let's see. So I'm going to add the eggs to this. Like I said, the cornbread's from a bag, but it's not much difference from a bag and you making it from scratch, at least to me. You can add and take out stuff you want. So, like I said, I'm adding whole corn on here, but that's my choice. That's what I like. Give it a good mix. I already have the oven preheating. And I already sprayed my baking dish where I'm going to be making it. And give it a good mix. Make sure it all mixes well. And this is the package is honey cornbread. So it's a little sweet. Not a lot, just a little bit. Make sure you get the little corners. Scrape all the little ends. Make sure you get all the cornbread. Break the batter. You don't want it lumpy. Okay. So that's a good mix. Give me a second here. Good morning, amiga. I'm making chili with the leftovers that I had from yesterday. So like I said, I like adding corn to my cornbread. That's just my preference. Okay, give it a mix. Make sure you scrape the bottom of the bowl. Okay. And like I said, I already had it sprayed. I have baking spray, but I guess I finished it. So I just sprayed it with that cooking spray, the olive oil one. And I spread it out with the napkin. And the cornbread, like I said, it's from a bag, so it's the honey flavor. Not too sweet. It's never that sweet. You can always add more sugar if you want it sweeter. I actually like sweet cornbread. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven. It's only saying 315 the temperature. I preheated it to go to 400. So it's going to start raising up a little bit, not much, and then it's going to cook slowly. So let me put that in the oven. Forgot to turn on the stove. Let me turn it on right now. So the stove is preheating. Let me show you what I have for leftovers. Okay, so yesterday's leftovers are the whole beans. I actually have a little bit of the breakfast sausage that I made in the morning, and it's a pork flavor because sometimes I'll mix pork and ground pork and ground beef. And I have some ground beef left over here from yesterday as well. I'm going to add the chili ready tomatoes. I'm going to add 1 can. Oh, I opened the wrong one. This is the Italian herb. I'm going to have to open a different one and freeze this. But tomato paste, I'll open another one. And then I'm also going to add some garlic powder, some tomato bouillon, and some ground cumin, some chili powder, and some black pepper. And then I'm also gonna add some onion. And these are 2 chiles jalapenos. I don't have any bell pepper because normally that's what I'll add. I'll add a little bit of bell pepper. I'll put you here in the stand so I can see. Give me a second. Get y'all situated. And the pot is preheating. Okay, let's see if I can get y'all down without knocking y'all too much over. Okay. So I'm gonna throw in the onion. The only thing missing is the bell pepper. There's so many ways of making chili. This is just one of the ways I make chili. So it's going to have a little kick to it, but I took the seeds out of the jalapeno. I didn't want it too spicy. Okay, let me see if I have any regular tomato paste. Okay, so I do have regular tomato paste. I'm going to go ahead and put that in Ziploc baggie and let it freeze in the Ziploc baggie. Ooh, this is smelling good already. Probably gonna start coughing here. Okay. So I'm gonna cook the onions until they're translucent and they're soft. I don't want to caramelize them. The meat's already done because it was from the taco meat from yesterday. That pork sausage was from the morning. So that already is cooked too. So it doesn't take me that long. Once this is done, it's more of just getting those flavors to mix together. And the chili shouldn't take that long. It's a real quick and easy chili to do when you have leftovers like this and you don't want to throw them away. It's a good way to save you some money and make another different meal. Meanwhile, I guess while that is cooking, I'm going to measure out the spices. And I'm going to put them in a little dish. And like I said, I always start off small. You don't want to add a whole bunch of spices and then it's a little too much. So I'm doing a teaspoon of everything right now. That's all the spices. Like I said, I start off with the small amounts and then I'll add some to it. And if you don't have homemade beans to put in here, just buy the canned beans. I recommend to use Bush's. Bush's has pretty good beans. Right bean, canned beans. Bush's has really good beans. Oh, my oven's ready, so it's already cooking anyway. So I don't have to worry about that. Did y'all have breakfast already? I actually just warmed up the tortilla and I had me a little bit left over of the breakfast sausage that I made yesterday. And I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm drinking my coffee here. Oh, can't wait. I love all these smells right here. I'm excited for it to be done. And you see it browning there at the bottom? That's a good flavor right there. Don't worry about that. It's just all flavor. Once you put the water in it and everything else, that brown is going to be picked up into the juices for the flavor. Okay, So at this point, I'm going to add the meat. Like I said, this was the breakfast one. It's not much, but I don't want to throw it away. And sometimes I do put ground pork on my chili. And then this was yesterday's leftover meat. Give that a good mix. And since this meats already have flavoring, and basically it's always the same flavorings that I use, I don't want to add too much spice. That's why I only went with a teaspoon of everything. And give that a good mix. And all this is sticking to the bottom, that's fine. It's going to come up right now in a little bit. So you can see where it's sticking. All that is just flavor getting stuck. Okay. And rinse this real quick. Okay. Now at this point, start scraping the bottom. Get all those flavors. Smelling delicious. You see, as I'm scraping, it's coming off. So make sure you scrape it real good. Get all those flavors. Now I'm gonna just smash down a little bit of the tomato because the tomatoes are a little chunky for me. So I'm going to smash them just a bit. Make it easier on myself here. Use a smasher. And just squish those big chunks. The chili's getting through my throat. Because I didn't want big old chunks of tomato. I'm going to add another can of this because I'm going to add the paste. And what I meant by this, I didn't mean another can of the tomatoes, I meant water. Okay, so I'm going to scoop out, make sure I got the right one, the regular tomato paste. This is what thickens up the chili, is the tomato paste. Okay, give that a little smash right here. That way it can mix and doesn't get stuck just in one place. I'm going to bring the heat down because I have it on super high. So I'm going to put it at a 5. I'll probably lower it a little bit more. As you can see, it already starts looking like chili. Okay, I'm going to add the last can of water. Give it a good mix. And as you're doing this, not only does it help smash the tomatoes, but also the meat. Okay, let me get a spoon real quick. And give this a taste. Remember, I started with a teaspoon of everything. I'm going to add a teaspoon more. Because since I don't cook with salt, the tomate has salt in it. So that's why I put more no tomate, because it's my flavoring for the salt. Okay, let's give it a taste again. Okay, I'm gonna wait to add anything else because I'm gonna add the beans at this point. Juices and everything for the beans. So if it gets too juicy, you can put another can of tomato paste. But you gotta let it cook and let it reduce. I turn on the oven light so I can peek at the cornbread. Oh, it's looking good. Okay. Let that warm up just a bit before I taste it. Like I said, everything had flavor already from the day before. So I don't want to add too much spice and then overpower it. Tastes really good. I'm gonna add a teaspoon more for salt flavor. Other nor pollo. Not nor pollo, nor tomate. And half a teaspoon of the chili. Same thing with this, only half. That a good mix. Like I said, this is more to your tasting, to your liking on how spicy you want it. So this is the flavor I like. You can always add less of the spices or you can add more, totally up to you. Give it a good mix, get all those spices in there. Okay, much better. How do you like eating your chili? I like mine with the crackers or with cornbread or tortillas. Okay, so let me see what y'all are saying. Give me a second. I was gonna grab something and I forgot. I'm over here erasing what I had on the little board. Let me put up my spices real quick, guys. Get them out of the way here. Yes, I have a lot of little dishes to wash from all this that I just pulled out. Don't throw away your leftovers. Make another meal out of it, guys. Okay, so let me go put up my spices and I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm trying to clean up here while I'm at it. I'm waiting on this real quick. Give it a mix because you don't want it to get stuck at the bottom. And there's one more ingredient I add to this. You don't have to, but this is just what I prefer. Let me get it. And I'll get on in just a bit so I can see what y'all are writing. add a little bit of Velveeta. So I'm going to let that cook for a little bit, get all those spices cooking together. And that way, the spices aren't too powerful when you serve it. And it is juicy because of the, not only the water. If you don't want it this juicy, don't put that much water. Just put the beans in there. And then take out any juice. If you just want to put plain beans or whatever, it's up to you how much you put on there. Okay, let me get this. I'm going to higher the lid because once I get it higher, it's going to start popping. So I don't need it popping all over the stove and getting it dirty more than it is already. Okay, so let me check on that cornbread. Give me a second. I like this little tester right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a thin little one, and I use this for my cakes. It is a cake tester to see if it's cooked or not, but I use it for everything as far as the baking. So I'm going to check the cornbread. Let's see if it's made or not. No, it's still a little jiggly. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to put my timer 5 minutes so I can check on it. And give it a good mix because you don't want it to get stuck at the bottom. And the longer you leave it, the thicker it gets because the juices start evaporating and stuff. So if you want it thick, just let it sit there. You can let it simmer for up to 2 hours. As long as you keep checking it every few minutes, every 5 minutes or so to make sure you just mix it well. Okay, so let me get you down. Let me see what y'all are saying. Let me go back. Good morning, Olga. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, that sounds good. Leftover chicken empanadas. And hi, Cynthia. If I haven't said hi, I'm sorry. Hi, Bernie. Oh, you already have potato, chorizo, and over medium eggs. Thank you, Elizabeth. Good morning, Gina. Your stomach's growling. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Adele. Thank you, thank you. And it's all leftovers. It's all leftover meat and beans from yesterday. You know, so let me see if I could get you a closer little look without. Let's see here. You know what? I'll bring you down here with me. See, look at that chili, looks so good, and it's getting thicker as it sits there. Make sure you scrape the bottom because you don't want it to get there stuck at the bottom and then it burns. My son likes eating this chili on his hot dogs. And we make Frito pies with it, and here. We make Frito pies with it. We also just do just plain bowl of chili with either tortillas, cornbread, or crackers. It just depends on how I feel, and that's what I'll be eating with it. Today I make cornbread, so I'll be having some cornbread with it. And then whatever's leftovers, I know my son's going to eat it with the, some hot dogs or something, and we'll get Frito pies and stuff, so it won't go to waste. You know, and that's the idea, that I don't want to waste food, so I'm trying to redo, you know, different dishes with the leftovers that I have. You know, like I said, you got to mix it every few minutes. I just don't want it to get stuck at the bottom. So I'm literally just here babysitting it. Ooh. Okay. And like right now, I just finished mixing it, but I can feel it like a little bit in the bottom getting stuck. Okay. And let me cover it before I get all splattered. And that's at an 8. I don't even have it real high. I had it at a 5 earlier. Thank you, Vernie. I appreciate it. So like I said, every few minutes I'm just mixing it because it gets stuck at the bottom because it's getting thicker. So I'm going to put y'all over here so I don't have to y'all wobbly all over the place. And that way I can use both hands. Yeah, I can feel how thick it is at the bottom. And the more it sits there, the thicker it gets. And then when I put the Velveeta cheese, that'll also thicken it up. I like adding Velveeta cheese. You don't have to, but that's just gives it that different flavor and the thickness, and I just love it. Okay, so it's coming up to my 5-minute mark on the cornbread. It's looking good. I'm going to test it here in a little bit to see if it's ready. Let me see if I can get y'all in the stand right here without dropping y'all. See if it fits. I'm gonna move you back. Let's see. Okay, hopefully y'all don't fall. Look at that, guys. Doesn't that look yummy? So let me test it. Came out clean. It's done. Okay, so let me turn off the oven light and the oven because it is hot. Okay. So I'm gonna get, let me move this before I get burnt. Hopefully it didn't get stuck. Like I said, I didn't have the... Let me move y'all back. Sorry. Giving y'all my backside here. Put y'all a little down. Hopefully it didn't get stuck. I didn't have the non-sticking spray that I usually get. So I improvised and I used the one for the pans, the olive oil in the spray can. And I sprayed it. It doesn't look like it's gonna stick. I think it worked. Hopefully it worked. But I'm just going around the edges and pushing it down, separating it from the wall before it gets cold and stuck on there. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit. Idella, I always need a housekeeper. You know what? I only have cast iron, little mini cast iron. Let me see if I can get it. They're small. Oh, it's way back there. I don't want to dig back there. Let me see if it's... Yeah, I have little bitty mini ones, cast iron. The cast iron. Sorry, I'm getting all those beans. But I only have little mini cast irons. I don't have... Ooh, I'm going to turn it off. This is ready. Screaming hot. So I'm going to move it off the heat so it doesn't keep jumping at me. And I'll put it back here in a minute. I'm going to add that cheese to it. So I don't have a big cast iron. The only thing that's cast iron that I have is my Dutch oven. Okay, so I'm going to put this much for now. And I'm going to mix it. That's about maybe 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces. Okay. And I'm just gonna mix it so that cheese can melt. I'm gonna keep it off of here because it's hot, so I don't want it to keep on bubbling. Okay, so y'all can see, I'm gonna move things around. And hopefully I don't burn myself here. That way this, and eventually, yes, it'll get some heat, but it'll take a little while for it to warm up. Okay. So let me see, make sure that that cheese melted. I'm just going to break it down a little bit so I can melt a little faster. And it will change the color of the chili to a little lighter color, but it's okay. The flavor's still there. Like I said, it's about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of the cheese. It looked more like 2 ounces. Okay, so let me give it a mix. Now, while the cornbread is still there, I'm going to add some butter. So let me get my butter, because I just love, love, love butter on my cornbread. Give me a sec. Okay. And I can put some honey on this on my own and eat it as a dessert, because that's the way I like it. But I only put it on my piece. I won't put it on the whole thing, because not everybody likes it sweet like I do. Has a little crack there. You know what? I didn't test it there. It looks a little soft. Let me double check, because it came out clean. No. Okay, come out clean there. Just double checking that it's done. Because right now it has the butter. I'm going to stick it back in, because I don't know. I get a funny feeling that it's not cooked there and it's soft where the butter's at. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Give me a second. And while that's in there, I'll serve my chili and prep it and everything. Okay, I'm going to put that side. That seems raw. I'm not sure if it is, but I'm not going to chance it. I'm facing it back because the temperature is higher in the back than it is in the front. So that's why when I bake, I rotate my baking around, because it tends to be hotter in the back. And every oven's different, but it might be the same for you. I'm not sure. Okay, so let me get some chili going on here. That way it gives me time while that is still cooking and they're baking. Gives me a chance to have this chili cool off a little bit. Ah, this looks so good. Okay. Okay, we got that. Let me see if I have some avocado. I like adding avocado to mine. Okay. So let me get a knife. I'll move this out of the way. Trying to make some room here for myself. Okay. Just stalling while that bread is still in the oven. And you can make some corn chips and pour it on top of it too. That just depends what you want to do with yours. Okay. How pretty that avocado is. My mother-in-law, may she rest in peace, taught me how to pick out avocados. I don't know if I told you before. I'm sure I did. So basically, you know, most of us get it and squeeze right here in the center and everything. She taught me that you squeeze from top to bottom, and that's tender. And this is still a little firm, it's fine, but the whole thing would be good. So that's how I usually pick mine, and I always get this beautiful color of avocado. Okay, so let me take off the skin. That chili looks really, really good. I'll give you a close up here in a little bit. I just throw the skin away. Okay. I'm just going to cut it in big old chunks. Just rinse my hands. Okay, and I'll bring you up closer so y'all can see how the chili looks. Let me get a clean spoon. Oh, that sounds good, Elizabeth. See, the more it sits, it starts getting thicker as it gets colder. With that Velveeta. And all this is with leftover food from yesterday. I made a quick chili. Okay, I'm going to put this aside and get me some avocados on there. Let me put you on the stand. Up here on top. And you can put sour cream on here. You can put any topping that you like. I kind of treat this kind of like if it's like the tortilla soup. I like adding all those toppings to it. Except sour cream. Sour cream is the only thing I will not... Ow, burn myself. That I will not put in my food. I don't like sour cream myself. Okay, let me check this cornbread of mine. Leave it a couple more minutes. And it probably just looks a little soft now because I put the butter. But I just want to play it safe when I cut into it that it's still cooked. I keep burning myself with the corner of the stove. I'm excited to taste this. That looks really, really good. Let's see if it's hot. That is really good, guys. Yeah, I'm just waiting on that cornbread. Y'all really need to try this. It's really, really good. I like it. It has a tiny little bit kick to it. And it's from the jalapenos that I added to it. You can see a few right there. But I took the seeds out. So whatever little veins, a little bit that stayed behind, gave it just a slight kick, plus the black pepper I added to it. You can see the specks of the black pepper around it. Super, super delish. Has those chunks of tomato there. Okay, I'm gonna get out this cornbread. I am not a very patient person. Okay. Let me move things around so I can get you over here to see this. And let me cut the cornbread. Well, let's hope it's cooked. And I'm just going to scoop. I guess it's cooked because it's not coming out on the little spatula. Here, let me put you on the stand because I don't want to drop this. My favorite parts of any baked dish is always the ends. Get a little spatula here to push it back up. And you can see the corn in there, guys. You can see the corn, and I love it. So I'm gonna put it over here on the okay, let me give this a try. Now I'm gonna burn my mouth. Let me get a different spoon here. Ah, it smells good in here. So I'm going to cut a little bit of that corn. Get the little corn avocado over here. I like corn with my chili. To add corn. So I'm going to flip y'all around real quick. Look at that, guys. That looks so good. Okay. So hopefully I don't burn my mouth. Trying to get y'all without dropping y'all. It's really good. And the sweetness from the cornbread, that's good. It gives it a good combination. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna sit down and eat this because I am starving. I had only that one taco like at 5 or 6 in the morning when I was making my husband breakfast for work. And I've been drinking coffee all day, so it's time for my lunch, and that's going to be my lunch and dinner for my husband when he gets home. And maybe tomorrow I'll go live. It's going to be a long video. I'll make some cakes today, and then I'll decorate it live. And I'll do a close-up of the decorations instead of like this. It will be real close-up so you can see how I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm going to try to do like a simple Halloween one, you know, that y'all can do at home. And I'm actually going to attempt to use store-bought frosting. I always make my own frosting. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Something that y'all can use at home because not everybody has all the baked stuff that I have. So I'm going to try to do it how y'all would do it if y'all were, you know, doing your own baking at home without the utensils that you don't have. But a lot of the stuff and the tips and stuff, the decorating tips, you can find them at Walmart for about $5, $6 for a set. You know, just the basic tips. You don't need that many tips. You know, especially if you're just starting off and you can practice on some plastic, scoop it up and re-practice again on the borders and stuff. But anyways, I'll bake a cake today and I will come on to live tomorrow showing you how to decorate that cake so y'all can have one for Halloween. So anyways, guys, let you go. I'm going to sit down and eat. Thanks for hanging out with me. Love you. Bye.